Hi guys. My fifth and final piece of technology I want to talk about is DuoLingo. And there's two aspects to it. DuoLingo is a language learning application. It could never be used to learn a language fluently, but it's a great application to use to combine with formal instruction, which is what my students do. I love it as a teacher because it allows me to assign specific lessons that I want them to learn. But first, before we get into that, let me just go ahead and show you what DuoLingo is. DuoLingo is a way to learn the basics of a foreign language. This is an example of what my students see. You level up different skills by translating different texts. It gradually introduces you more and more words, more and more phrases, and the idea is that you will eventually use these so often that you'll begin to remember them. So let's do an example here. So how do I say restaurant in Spanish?
El restaurante.
So it pronounces it for you.
Dos.
Yo necesito un restaurante.
So pretty basic. This means I need a restaurant, but if you don't know a word, you can hover over it.
Yo necesito un restaurante.
And it pronounces it for you, so it reinforces the listening aspect. So I need a restaurant. Word for
Personas.
I love this
La
application
mesa.
Yo
because
necesito una mesa.
not only do you have the option to do it on the computer, but you can also download it as an application. So, and like I said before, as a teacher, they have this program called Schools Duolingo. So I actually have all my students on one page here. So let's go to my second hour class. I can see what each individual student does that week. I have the option to assign them a specific lesson. So let's say, for instance, that we covered food in this week's lesson. I would assign them this lesson specifically, restaurant, which will reinforce food-based vocabulary in Spanish, right? And I can choose what day I want them to turn it in. So I have a lot of control as a teacher. I can see their progress. I can see whether or not they do the assignment. I can see what they're working on in Duolingo. So it's a great way to assign digital homework. So my students on average have one lesson to complete each week, or they have to um, gain a certain amount of experience points, which could be anywhere from 3 to 4 lessons. So it just depends. But great tool. Like I said, it's completely free. You're never going to become fluent, but it is a great way to, and it's a great tool to use to learn the basics of any foreign language. So I'm actually using it right now to learn French to hone in on the one French course I took in college. So it works very, very well.